Are you guys ready for some good music? Here on the checkout from WBGO at the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge at New York City's Winter Jazz Fest. We're about to hear Niels and Jamie Peet. They're about to go some Keith Jarrett clone concert on our ass, I think. In a metaphorically speaking, of course. Take it away, guys. Niels Bruce, Jamie Peet here in the checkout from WBGO here at the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge Winter Jazz Festival. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
So,
for having us.
for the record, that was completely made up on the spot, right there.
Yeah, what we do is totally improvise our gigs. So we don't talk about anything in advance. Most of the time, the one thing that we have is a tempo. But for the rest, we just play and see where it takes us. And it's really exciting to do because every gig is gonna turn out completely different, for the good or for the bad. It really depends on the moment. So it's really every gig is different.
So in settings like this, it's really like the first note is probably the most important note because it determines the sequence of events to come. So how do you choose? What is that first note in like right here, and why did you decide that?
I don't know. It's sometimes it's a really important note. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's just the first note, and then after you most of the time you're always looking. You're looking for something. You're just browsing, and then you find something, and then I can loop it via my Ableton setup. I can loop everything I do, and then you have a loop, and then from that loop, you really listen. What does this need? Where can we take this? And up from there, it's just really listening to each other and see where we want to take it or where we want to go with it. Kind of like that.
Really cool.
Sometimes it's important, sometimes not at all.
How often do you crash and burn doing stuff like this?
It happens. Most of the time, like when we play, we have a few really good moments where it all clicks, and some moments where we're like searching for new stuff to happen. So you always will have those good moments, those highs and lows, but it's kind of part of the concept for us. Of course, we try to get as less lows as possible, but.
So if you were to critique that last improvisation, what did you like and what didn't you like about it?
I didn't like that my gear is a bit weird, but for the rest, I don't know. It's really in general it's really weird to have an opinion on music. It's really difficult to have an opinion on music when you just made something. So most of the time we record all our sets and then get together, watch it, listen to it, critique each other, critique ourselves. Talk about what we think is good, what we think is bad, and then try to do our best for the next one and try to do it better.
So what should we call this next piece? Improvisation number 2?
I guess, or winter jazz impromptu. That sounds so deep, but let's do it.
All right. Niels Bruce, Jamie Peet, the Dutchies, the sound, the underground sound from the Netherlands, right here on the checkout from WBGO at the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge. Huge shout out to the Moxie in the East Village for being so gracious and kind, for allowing us to be here. And, sorry if we're getting a little loud here. We're trying to create a vibe, so apologies. But the music is amazing, and we love it. And this is just a taste of what you're going to get tomorrow night at New Blue, where the sound of the Dutch Underground will be coming to throw an all-night party. Some of those acts include Tin Men and the Telephone, Niels Bruce and Jamie Peet, obviously, Bink Beats. Go to winterjazzfest.com to see the full lineup. It's going to be a party. So I don't know. I want to know who you guys are. I mean, people don't know you guys here in the States, so who are you? Jamie Peet, Niels Bruce. I understand you both have kind of prodigal talent.
That's not for us to decide. I don't know. Who am I? Damn. I don't know. Yeah, we both started as session musicians in the Netherlands, and then we kind of bumped into each other a lot of times, and we did a few gigs with different bands together. Sometimes, like, Jamie had to sub for a drummer in a band I had, and then every sound check and every jam we did in the show, something happened. We were always grooving and jamming, and that's sort of how it came together. Yeah.
And you started playing at 4 years old, 5 years old, both of you around that same age?
About 5 years old, yes.
5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Just like what, playing pots and pans first, or an actual drum kit?
Literally, yes. I think I was
in the kitchen.
No, wherever I could. I think when I was 9, I got my first drum set. But before that, it was just everything I could possibly hit on, I guess.
Awesome. So I want to know, what should we talk about first, Supersonic Jazz or Kytopia? Because I think we need to unpack both of those.
Yeah, so Kytopia was a collective of musicians and artists in Utrecht in the Netherlands. And it came together when we started playing with an orchestra that a friend of mine had, Colin Benders. He's doing a lot of modular stuff right now, but he used to play trumpet and lead an orchestra, and it was a hip-hop orchestra of like 30 people, like 8 MCs, and a giant band with a string section and a horn section. And we got to have a place in the city where we just could build studios and work there all the time, do concerts, do studios, let stuff happen, meet each other.
It's like an artist collective.
Yeah, sort of. And we had that for a few years, and it was really, really special. And that's where a lot of people in Holland, a lot of musicians and artists met each other. And unfortunately, we had to leave the building we were in. There's a new location now, but people are all doing their own thing now, which is really great as well, because everyone's just going in a different direction. Bink Beats, who is playing tomorrow as well, had a studio there as well.
And so just give us like a picture of what Kytopia is. Like, is it only limited to musicians, or does it have like writers and visual artists? Like, and how many people are we talking about?
I never counted them, and I think nobody did, and that's the beauty of the whole space. Like, it was just people were walking in and out, and if you would do creative stuff and people would feel it, like stuff started to happen naturally. So it was like, at some point it was like 40 people maybe. And we all had our own spaces, and it was really cool. It was in an old concert venue in Utrecht. It was called Tivoli. It was a really legendary place. Nirvana played there, and like lots of epic bands. So yeah, that was a really good place to be. It's really good to have a place like that and be able to record and just do whatever, whenever you feel.
You guys just released your first EP on Supersonic Jazz, the duo, just by your names. So definitely check that out. And when it comes to Supersonic Jazz, this is a label, I understand, that got its name from a legendary 1957 Sun Ra recording.
Yeah. It's a beautiful record.
So, and why is that? Like, what is it about that record and specifically that sort of represents the ideas in Kytopia?
I think we should get one of the people of Supersonic Jazz over here to answer that question. But it was definitely...
Come over, yeah. Come
Like
here,
wh-
Vincent.
When I heard the title of the label, it was like it gave you a sort of feel of the record as well. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, what's your name?
Vincent. My name is Vincent, and I'm here also for the week to join the guys. And yeah, we're running the Supersonic Jazz label in Holland, so in Amsterdam. We started 3 years ago, and we're very happy that Niels and Jamie released their first EP on our label. So Supersonic Jazz is a platform actually, and a yearly festival. Next to the label, we organize the yearly events, and so it's 5 different churches in Amsterdam where there's music all week. And next to that, we are really trying to create an atmosphere in Amsterdam where people like Niels and Jamie can do their thing.
So would you
spread
say
some good stuff?
So would you say Supersonic Jazz is Amsterdam's response to, LA's legendary Brain Feeder label?
Sort of. I think in we had a few people like, for example, Jameszoo. He released on Brain Feeder label, and he's also from Holland. So in the beginning, we were collaborating a lot with Jameszoo as well, and Niels was playing in the band of Jameszoo. So there's definitely a link between the music and also, like for example, like Fly Low is really jazz-inspired electronic music. So that's what we do also. We try to create a link between club music and like electronic music and jazz.
All right.
So
Well,
yeah.
actually, we're going to hear another song right now, but I want to talk to Niels Bruch more about Jameszoo, an artist that everybody should know, that is not really known in these parts, that people should know, quite frankly. So we're going to be learning about that soon. But I pose, since you guys are improvisers and vibe creators, I just wanted to pose a challenge for you both. How can you make a groove right here at our Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge with a little bit more of chamber,
Chamber.
sensibility, in the sense that, if that makes any sense. Just because
you
we're getting a little loud here, so
Yeah.
I've been told that if we're scaring away
Yeah,
some of the patrons.
That's a nice way of saying it. A little bit more chamber. No, I like it. I wish everyone at every venue would say it like that instead of play softer. It's. Yeah, let's try it. Jij mag beginnen, Jamie.
Niels Bruce, Jamie Peet here in the checkout from WBGO, a special edition from Winter Jazz Fest at the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge. Thank you guys for joining us, and
Thanks
definitely join us Sunday night. That's tomorrow at New Blue for the Dutch Underground and the sounds of a lot of the amazing Dutch Underground talent coming to New York City for Winter Jazz Fest. And it's going to be an all-night party at 151 New Blue. So let's just quickly talk about Jameszoo, because I wanted. He's doing just some really interesting music that I've never, he's sort of creating a genre himself. Like, can you what does Jameszoo do? And like, you played with him in an orchestra recently.
Yeah. He made the record Full, which came out on Brainfeeder, which I wrote some stuff on, played the keys on it.
What did you write on that?
5 or 6 songs. Co-write with him.
Okay, cool.
So
can you give us some names? What are the names of those compositions?
Flu, Flake, Crumble. I think 2 more maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the album, like we toured with it with a quartet with Richard Spaven on drums, Peter Elt on bass, really insane musician, and John Dykman on saxophone. Mitchell Jameszoo was doing electronics and loops and samples, and I played the keys. And then we got asked by the Metropole Orchestra, which is really, really good Dutch orchestra, to like arrange the whole record for big band, for orchestra. And then we played like 3 times, and we played the whole record from start to end with them. And it was a really amazing experience, and it got recorded, and recently it came out on Brainfeeder as well. So that's like Full, but then the orchestra version of it.
And so for those that haven't heard this music, it's sort of like this chopped up orchestral improvisational music.
Yeah. He's something else. Like the way he produces, and he's a really creative guy, and he really has his own interpretation of how stuff should sound, how you should make it, like about creativity in general. And it's really inspiring to work with him.
So can you just quickly break down the process though? How does he create like a composition, for instance?
It's different every time, and it depends on, like, he's doing a lot of the more softer stuff, like how full is the record, and together we do some club stuff as well. He's a madman at editing and sampling, and just like knowing exactly what little piece of a loop should fit here and there, and then throws it all away and does it again, or does something on top of it. He has a really, it's a good thing that you can't say in a few words what he does. Like, he plays a lot of keys himself, he's sampling, drum programming, but in general he's a really good, really musical arranger and a producer as well. It's really hard to describe what his talent is exactly, but
he also recruits some jazz legends on the recording too.
Like Steve Kuhn was on there. Yeah, Artu Verokai, which is also a hero of me. Steve Kuhn as well. So that was really mental.
Well, please, everyone, give a round of applause for the Dutch Underground right here at the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
it's really good to be here. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Check Out from WBGO, and look out for the podcast version of this program. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcasts. You guys gonna play one more for us or not? You guys done?
I'm having some technical.
Okay, cool. No worries. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, and looking forward to tomorrow. We're gonna have a bit more gear with us, a bit more synths. And go check out Bing Beats and Tineke Posma and Tim Man and Telephone as well, because it's really cool. And
you can find out the full lineup of Night 2 of the Winter Jazz Fest Marathon by going to winterjazzfest.com. I'd like to thank again Corey Goldberg, Chris Tobin, everyone from the Bowers and Wilkins Sound Lounge, Josh Rowe, his whole team has been fantastic. So thank you all. And of course, thank you to the Moxie in the East Village. I'm Simon Retner from the Checkout from WBGO. Thanks for checking us out.